an AI model so powerful it wiped out $1 trillion from the US stock market and then became the most downloaded app in America. On the other side, we have OpenAI's ChatGPT R1, a model backed by one of the biggest AI giants in the world. But which one is better? Which one should you use? Let's break it all down. Today, we are putting DeepSeek R1 and ChatGPT R1 head-to-head across everything: price, speed, reasoning, development, hardware, training, privacy, and more. So buckle up, because this is the AI showdown you don't want to miss. Let's start with the craziest part: how DeepSeek literally shook the global economy. Did you know this AI model literally made the US stock market tremble? Yep, when DeepSeek was released, it wiped out a staggering $1 trillion from the market. Why? Because its advanced capabilities made investors question the future of traditional AI industries. And guess what? It didn't stop there. DeepSeek became the most downloaded app in the US on the App Store within days. That's how powerful this AI is. Let's get started on comparing these two models on various parameters to see which one to be used when. Comparison based on pricing and cost per million tokens. Now let's talk money. The biggest difference between DeepSeek R1 and ChatGPT R1 is accessibility. For chat interfaces like web or app versions, DeepSeek is completely free. Yes, it's 100% open source. That means you can download it, run it locally, and not pay a dime. Meanwhile, ChatGPT is free for casual use with limited access to GPT 3.5, but if you want better performance and advanced features with access to GPT-4, then you need ChatGPT Plus, which costs $20 per month, or ChatGPT Pro, which costs $200 per month. For API usage, ChatGPT charges $15 per million tokens for input tokens and $60 per million for output tokens, whereas DeepSeek charges 55 cents per million tokens for input tokens and $2.19 per million tokens for output tokens. So you would be wondering, what are input and output tokens? So input tokens are the tokens used in the prompt or query you send to the AI model. This includes everything you type, such as instructions, questions, or context. Whereas output tokens are the tokens generated by the AI model in its response to your input. Tokens in general are a chunk of text that the AI model processes. They can be as short as one character or as long as one word. For example, chatbot is one token, while AI is also one token. For example, the sentence, "Hello, how are you?" might be broken into 5 tokens. Now, in terms of pricing, DeepSeek is a clear winner, as it is free for the same features that ChatGPT provides with a paid subscription plan. Also, for API usage, DeepSeek R1 is 27 times cheaper than ChatGPT R1 for input and output tokens. If you use 1 million input and output tokens, for example, DeepSeek will cost you $2.74, whereas ChatGPT R1 would cost you $75. So if you are a developer or business working with large-scale AI applications, then DeepSeek R1 offers a massive cost advantage. Next up is comparison based on benchmark tests. Okay, but which one is actually smarter? Well, it depends on what you need it for. Let's look at the numbers. Both these models were tested based on benchmark tests in the fields like math, coding, reasoning, and general knowledge. In AIME 2024 test, which is a super tough math competition for high schoolers, the pass at 1 metric evaluates how often an AI model can solve AIME level math problems correctly on the first attempt. DeepSeek R1 scores 79.8%, while ChatGPT R1 scores 79.2%. That means DeepSeek is a tiny bit better at handling complex, high-level math problems. Next, let's talk coding. Codeforces ranks AI models against human programmers in solving competitive coding challenges. DeepSeek R1 has 96.3 percentile, while ChatGPT R1 got 96.6 percentile. It is almost neck to neck here, but ChatGPT R1 is closer to the performance of top human coders. Next is GPQA Diamond benchmark test, how well an AI can answer expert-level questions in fields like science, law, and medicine. DeepSeek R1 scores 71.5%, while ChatGPT R1 scores 75.7%. So ChatGPT R1 is the clear winner this time around. Another math benchmark, Math 500, tests how well an AI can solve 500 diverse math problems on the first try. DeepSeek R1 scores 97.3%, while ChatGPT O1 scores 96.4%. Let's talk general knowledge. MMLU tests an AI's ability to answer questions across 57 subjects, from humanities to STEM. DeepSeek R1 scores 90.8%, while ChatGPT O1 scores 91.8%. ChatGPT O1 has the upper hand in this case. Finally, let's talk about SWE Bench Verified result. This benchmark tests how well an AI can handle real-world software engineering tasks like fixing bugs or implementing features. DeepSeek R1 resolves 49.2% of tasks, while ChatGPT O1 resolves 48.9%. If you are a developer, DeepSeek is slightly better at practical coding tasks. So let's sum it up. Both of these models are almost equal in terms of coding. However, if you need an AI that's great at math but lacks a bit in expert-level knowledge of fields like law, literature, history, and science, then DeepSeek R1 is the better choice. But if you're looking for a more conversational AI with polished responses to expert-level questions in fields like STEM, law, history, but lacks a bit in solving complex math problems accurately, then ChatGPT O1 has the upper hand. Next is comparison based on models trained. So how did these AI models get so smart? Both DeepSeek R1 and ChatGPT O1 use a combination of supervised learning and reinforcement learning. This means they learn from human examples and then refine themselves over time. ChatGPT O1 follows a three-step training process. Phase 1 is pre-training, in which it spends years learning everything from books, articles on the internet. Phase 2 is supervised learning or supervised fine-tuning, where the mistakes during the first phase are corrected and the correct response is provided. Phase 3 is the reinforcement learning with human feedback, where the model is asked real-world questions and it is rewarded if it provides correct response and gets punished for incorrect ones. It is rewarded for each correct response so that it remembers it in the future. DeepSeek R1 also follows 3 steps, but in different weightages. Phase 1 is supervised fine-tuning, in which the model is trained to look at past answers and problem-solving techniques. It learns how experts will solve those problems. Phase 2 is reinforcement learning, where it learns from its mistakes through trial and error. The model is trained to solve real-world problems, and when it makes a mistake, it re-evaluates the problem and adjusts the approach. Phase 3 is self-improvement techniques or self-verification, where the model checks its own response in the past and learns from those directly. In short, ChatGPT O1 is trained using supervised learning plus reinforcement learning, so it has a balance between language understanding and reasoning. Whereas DeepSeek R1 is trained heavily through reinforcement learning, so it is way better at reasoning skills but lacks in the general language understanding. The next one is the biggest difference among the two models. But before we get to that, make sure to like this video, and if you are new here, subscribe for more great videos just like this. Here it is, comparison based on type of model. DeepSeek R1 is open source, meanwhile ChatGPT O1 is completely closed source. Open source means code behind the AI model is publicly available. Anyone can download, modify, and even run it on their own hardware. Closed source, on the other hand, like ChatGPT, means the code is proprietary and controlled by the company that created it, that is OpenAI. Open source advantages are that it is customizable based on requirements. For example, if you are building a chatbot for customer support, you can fine-tune DeepSeek to understand your industry's jargon. With ChatGPT, you are stuck with what OpenAI provides, no tweaks and no customizations. Open source gives you the freedom to build exactly what you need. Another advantage of an open source platform is the transparency, where you can see how exactly the model is trained and how it works. With ChatGPT, it's a black box. You have no idea what's going on under the hood. Open source means no secrets. Apart from being open source, you can download DeepSeek R1 locally on your machine. This provides the benefit that your data is private as it never leaves your device. However, with ChatGPT, you can use it through OpenAI's website or API, but you don't control the underlying model. This means no offline access and limited customization. So, if you are a developer wanting full control, DeepSeek is your best bet. But if you are an average user who just wants a polished, easy-to-use AI, ChatGPT might be the better experience. Now is comparison based on development cost and hardware. DeepSeek R1 was built by a relatively small team in China, whereas OpenAI has billions in funding and access to NVIDIA's most advanced hardware. This means OpenAI can train bigger, more powerful models. DeepSeek developed the R1 model with a reported training cost of approximately $5.6 million. OpenAI's ChatGPT R1 model required a significantly higher investment, with training cost estimated to exceed $100 million. DeepSeek's R1 and OpenAI's ChatGPT R1 models were developed using different hardware configurations. DeepSeek trained its R1 model using 2048 NVIDIA GPUs, specifically the A800 and H800 models, whereas OpenAI's ChatGPT R1 was trained using around 30,000 A100 GPUs during the training process. DeepSeek R1 has been developed by a team of 50 engineers and researchers, whereas GPT-R1 is built by OpenAI's team of 300+ engineers, researchers, and data scientists. DeepSeek R1 is a great example of how efficiency and innovation can lead to a powerful AI model without breaking the bank. Next up is comparison based on real-time speed and accuracy with examples. Let's compare both the models in real time. Starting with logical reasoning, let's try asking this question to both the models and see how they respond. First, I will select ChatGPT R1 model by going to the Selection tab, and in DeepSeek R1, I will turn on the DeepSeek R1. So the question is, a train leaves New York heading towards Los Angeles at 80 miles per hour. 1 hour later, another train leaves Los Angeles heading towards New York at 100 miles per hour. If the distance between the two cities is 2,800 miles, at what point will the two trains meet? So, ChatGPT is faster in terms of response, as it took less than 10 seconds to think. The answer that it got is 1289 miles, which is correct. We can see that DeepSeek R1 takes a lot longer to think than R1. However, it thinks deeply and considers all parameters and verifies its responses before giving us the answer. Everything marked in gray is what it thought in the background to come up with the response. Both of them got the same response. However, ChatGPT R1 was faster with very little background thinking information, whereas DeepSeek R1 analyzed the problem deeply and came with a verified response. Next is trying a mathematical problem. A circle is inscribed in a right-angular triangle with legs of lengths 6 and 8. Find the radius of the circle. Let's see how they respond to it. So ChatGPT R1 and DeepSeek R1 both thought only for a few seconds, but R1 was faster, and both of them gave the correct response. For coding, let's try this. Create a Python chatbot that can remember user interactions within a session, and the chatbot has to be developed based on certain parameters. So for this question, ChatGPT R1 again thought for a few seconds and provided a code for a chatbot using Python. And DeepSeek R1 took a bit more time thinking, but provided demo instructions on how to use the chatbot. I will not go into details of testing the codes for this video. Hence, when comparing the two on logical reasoning, coding, and math problem, R1 is faster and doesn't give that much background thinking data, whereas R1 thinks much more in depth and shows us behind the scenes of what it considered before giving us a response. Now is comparison based on privacy and data usage. ChatGPT R1 and DeepSeek R1 both use users' data for training and improving their models. For ChatGPT, the user can opt out of the data sharing process if they have a paid subscription, but DeepSeek doesn't have this option and always collects user data when using DeepSeek's web or app interface. Also, for ChatGPT, business-oriented plans like ChatGPT Team and Enterprise do not collect any user information for training their models. DeepSeek has the upper hand when it comes to running the model locally on your computer, as ChatGPT can't run locally on your computer. Thus, no data is shared if DeepSeek is operated locally on your machine, which is a massive advantage for researchers, developers, and businesses. Hence, DeepSeek R1 wins in terms of privacy since it runs locally, your data stays on your device. ChatGPT, however, processes everything through OpenAI servers, and you can avoid sharing data if you have a team or enterprise client. Next up is comparison based on censorship. DeepSeek R1 is less censored than ChatGPT O1. If you ask controversial questions, DeepSeek gives raw, unfiltered responses, whereas OpenAI heavily moderates ChatGPT's replies. ChatGPT does not answer questions related to unethical activities such as crime or theft. If you ask it how to commit crime or theft, then it wouldn't provide a response, whereas DeepSeek would provide a response to that. I have tried asking ChatGPT what is censored by ChatGPT, and it says that it censors unethical activities, but DeepSeek R1 would respond to this without any thought. However, on the flip side, DeepSeek R1 is very politically sensitive. If you ask it any question related to politics in China, it would mostly respond with, "It is beyond my current scope," whereas ChatGPT would give a detailed answer to that. So both have its limitations, but it depends on what the user needs censored. Last one is comparison based on future development plans. OpenAI recently introduced Operator Mode in ChatGPT Pro, giving users advanced customization. This feature will serve as a personal assistant which can perform various tasks such as filling forms, navigating websites, finding shopping deals, booking flights, and so on, without the user's need. For example, you can write a prompt like, "Book a table for two at an Italian restaurant downtown at 7 p.m. It will book the table by finding the Italian restaurants in downtown. However, it comes with a heftier price tag of $200 a month with the Pro subscription. Also, the OpenAI's ChatGPT O3 model is now out, slightly smarter than ChatGPT O1. O3 model has improved reasoning, performance, and it also has adjustable reasoning time mode, which lets the user select how much thinking they want the model to do. This will adjust model's thinking time based on user inputs. For complex problems, user can allow more time to have a detailed thought process. OpenAI is contemplating offering its AI models like O3 Mini for free, aiming to remain competitive against open source alternatives like DeepSeek. Now for DeepSeek, companies like Microsoft are rapidly integrating DeepSeek R1 into their platforms such as Azure AI Foundry and GitHub, aiming to reduce their AI cost and enhance accessibility. DeepSeek plans to enhance R1's capabilities in function calling, multi-turn dialogue, and complex role-playing, while improving the reinforcement learning efficiency across various tasks. Alright, that's a wrap on our deep dive into DeepSeek R1 versus ChatGPT O1. We've compared pricing, development, speed, accuracy, privacy, and more. And let's be honest, both have their strengths. So who wins? Well, it depends on your needs. If you want cost effectiveness, logical reasoning, open source flexibility, improved privacy, ability to run AI model locally on your computer, then go for DeepSeek R1. But if you prefer a polished, conversational AI with advanced features, better general language understanding model, your data stored in US data centers instead of China, faster reasoning model, and if you don't mind paying the subscription fees, then ChatGPT O1 might be your pick. Let me know in the comments which one you prefer and why. Also, let me know what topic you would want me to cover next in the comments down below. Before you go, make sure to subscribe for more such videos that are meant to provide solutions to your daily life problems. Smash that like button if you found this useful, it really helps, and share this video with anyone curious about the next big AI battle. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.